What's up, guys? Dr. Typo here, playing some Grand Theft Auto 5 content creator launch today. Gonna show you how to use it. They do give you a tutorial for each one. However, I don't think that the tutorial that they give you is that expansive. It doesn't really teach you a whole lot. First thing I'll teach you, however, is you can use the map to actually fast travel while you're in the content creator. Just the same way that you would look at the map, using anything. And I'm gonna pick an area, that's rather small to use the content creator, just because I don't feel like making a million checkpoint race just to show you how to use it anyways. There's a couple things that are mandatory and it's going to make you do at the very start of each content that you try to create. You're going to have to make a title, you're going to have to describe it, and you're going to have to take a picture. Each of these things are actually pretty self-explanatory. I mean, the title, that's just a title, and the description is going to be how you describe the race, the deathmatch, use your expansive vocabulary. I mean, you're all very smart people. You know exactly how to make people wanna play your things. Use big words, big fancy words, and take a nice picture. I mean, this is just just a demo, just a little tutorial to show you guys how to do it. You'll be able to set the max amount of players, what kind of race you want it to be, depending on which content you're trying to make. Laps, point-to-point, number of laps, all that stuff. The starting grid size is actually something that will come into effect later. And then there's something down here too, the background music. Well, in case nobody has their radio on, it'll play some music. First thing you have to place down is a trigger. This is where people are going to go to actually start the race if it gets published and becomes viable content. You'll place the trigger and then you'll take a picture for the lobby camera. This will be obviously the camera when people are waiting in the lobby. This is what they'll see. And should you really want to, you can preview the lobby camera. You can preview any of the pictures that you have to take in the content creator. You can look at all of them before you decide, that's the picture I want. And when it comes to the starting point, this is where the grid comes into effect. You can make it, you can make the grid. The dimensions are pretty big. However, this is only a 2-lane road, so we're just going to make it a 2x8, seeing as there's a maximum of 8 players in it. And for anyone who has any experience with like Halo Forge, this is something that's gonna, you'll feel a little bit at home when you're doing this stuff. But when it comes into putting the checkpoints, I feel it's best to zoom out, quite a bit, just so you can actually see a little bit of distance ahead and behind where you're putting the checkpoints. It'll draw a little bit of a line for you, and seeing that guiding line is something I feel is nice. So you can try to keep that line, as straight as possible, or as curved. You want to make it look, as good as possible. So for this track, since it's almost just a square, I'm going to try to make it and keep it as square, so we stay on the road for as much as possible. Another thing that you can do, though, that I didn't put in here is you can actually hit the back button and switch the camera, and what that'll do is it'll put you in like a pilot's view. You'll be down there on the ground in a car, and you can place checkpoints and the grids and other things like that. You'll be able to use the right bumpers and the triggers to zoom in and out and rotate the checkpoint. And if you'll notice, the checkpoint looks like it has like a little bit of a point, an arrow on it, so to speak, and that is the way that you will be facing. Like if you have to recall to the checkpoint by hitting back during the race, you'll recall to the last checkpoint you hit, and that's the way you will be facing. And this is something that you'll even see in all the Rockstar generated races too. And you'll see here, I'm down here in the world, like I said, you can place checkpoints like this. I won't place any because I already have them all placed. However, I am just showing you, that you can, in the content creator itself, you can add checkpoints, you can change the starting grids, you can even put down weapon pickups and stuff like that in this view. In a deathmatch mode, you'll be able to be in this view, except you won't be in a vehicle, you'll be on foot. And it's the same thing, place weapons, spawn points, and whatnot. And when making content, one thing you want to try to do is kind of accommodate as many game modes as you can. This here is just a race. However, I'm going to throw down some weapons and stuff like that too, just in case somebody wants to do a GTA race. They have the option available to them with all the weapons and stuff that I'll be throwing down. And as stated before, it is somewhat similar to Halo Forge when it comes to throwing down some of the weapons. Anyone who has experience using this, you're going to feel right at home. You're going to have an easy time using the content creator. You don't really get to build your own maps. It's just death matches, races, and whatnot. But it's still a nice, nifty little tool to use. If you choose not to throw weapons down and accommodate for any other game modes, that's fine. You don't have to. I just like to. I would like this to be, I'd like some of these things to be played, as much as possible. Other things it'll let you do is throw down a little bit more things that are just purely cosmetic, like barriers, just things to help people, kind of direct people along, I guess, add things for people to run into and the likes like that. You'll see here I throw down a couple empty containers to help guide players, just so they don't make a wrong turn here. Granted, there's checkpoints right there. There's no reason for anyone to make a wrong turn right here, but this is just an example of, some of the things that you can do with the content creator anyways. You can throw down containers, create barriers, you can put down road signs to point people where to go. You can put down wooden boxes for people to hit, orange barrels, orange cones, explosive barrels. I mean, if there is an object in the game, chances are you can put it down. They even have options here for some of the water things. However, you can't obviously put those down on land. Don't get me wrong, it would be pretty cool to put a couple buoys in here and just have them rocking back and forth on the land, but you can't do that. So instead, you just got to deal with what you can do. And like I said, you can rotate all the objects and stuff with the bumpers, zoom in and out with the triggers, and you can make something look pretty unique. I don't think these shipping crates are really anywhere close to home. However, this is just an example. You're just going to use a lot of this stuff to help guide racers, but I mean, you can do stuff with it, to make it so you're putting objects in the map that would almost belong there. I mean, shipping crates in the middle of a street, they usually don't belong there. However, they're going to do for the time being. Other things you can put down is like ramps. These are pretty nifty. It'll even give you the option to set up like custom stunt jumps too. I'll show you that here in a second. But you've got multiple different sizes of ramps and stuff available to you, and even the water ramps. And now I'll show you how to do the stunt jumps. This is actually something that I think is a pretty nifty. You won't actually like slow down time like you do in the story mode. I guess you don't really slow down time when you do stunt jumps in the online mode either. It does just go to a little bit of a cinematic camera. You're going to want to put the stunt jump launch point at the top of your ramps instead of at the bottoms. That way, the jump will actually start once you hit the top. Or you could even, if you can find some way to get it airborne, you could do that too. Right here, I'm just going to end up putting it at the edge of the ramp there, and then you get to set the camera location where you want the camera to be at, looking at the stunt jump. And I don't put it that far from the jump itself. I'll actually put it right there next to it, just for, this was just actually a test. This is the first time that I had messed with the stunt jump feature. Upon finally creating your race, the last thing it's going to require you to do is to test it. You're actually going to have to race around whatever track it is that you just built. For the death matches, it doesn't really require you to play the whole game. However, for the races, it will require you to do at least one whole lap. I'm going to go ahead and do both of them anyways, though. But I am very excited to see where this is going to go. I'm really looking forward to seeing all the user-created races and death matches and stuff like that. It's really going to be a good time. Coming up here in just a second, you'll get to see how well the stunt jump camera works. And maybe I didn't put it in exactly the right spot. However, I think it looks all right. But that's it. That's all it takes. All you got to do is finish your test, and your content is ready to be saved, ready to be published for other users to vote on it, and eventually, hopefully, whatever you make gets Rockstar seal of approval, and a crap load of players end up playing it. I hope you guys found this tutorial informative. It's actually pretty easy to use. You can check out my other content creator tutorials. Take 2 and call me in the morning.